Hello YouTube, hope you're doing great. And I want to welcome you here with both arms. Welcome to the Diana Jungle Guide. Wish you the best.
My blade is yours.
So on this guide, I try to make it very quick and fresh, so it's very easy to understand, and you don't need to invest too much time into knowing the champion and how to play it and what is important on the champion, okay? Because I'm here for you, and let me know in the comments below what you think about this. I can do this on every single champion. I have the expertise, and I gladly share all the knowledge with you. So let me get started right into it. The first thing I do, even though I know how to play Diana and everything, right, which I would recommend all of you guys to do, is you check pro builds. I do this on every single champion, and I check very up to date. Okay, this is 4 days ago, but the current build setup, the current rune setup, what people take and where and why, okay? So that's already what I believe is the most important. I would not recommend, if you're below diamond elo, to be cooking a build yourself. Trust me, copy paste what we players in very high elo do consistently, which we take, and get good at mechanics, macro, mentality, and just enjoy the game. You don't need to be cooking builds to climb at all. It's just about your performance. That's what we're gonna get better at consistently. And when you're higher elo, you can start cooking, and if it's fun for you, you can also start cooking at lower elo. But this is my recommendation to climb, and from all my experience from the past too, also with coaching clients, okay? So that's the first thing. The next thing is I check on UGG what win rate she has, where she's strong, where she's weak, why she should be weak in a certain elo and extremely strong in a different elo. I compare and I use my brain. I do not need to explain to you how this all works, because I know you guys are pretty smart. The average viewer is actually older than me, and a lot of very, very competent viewers here. So I don't need to explain what. I just show you what I would do, and you can analyze it yourself. You're smart enough. That's my point, okay? So now I see the runes and everything. I get confirmation that these rune pages are good. You see also there's optional builds. Where we want to check jungle here, where we need to select jungle. That also makes it like, you see, everyone just takes Conqueror into inspiration. I'm not surprised, okay? But I'm going to explain this in a second. So the next thing I check builds. So first of all, I check the core build. We see here Liandry's and Riftmaker. Back then, when I made the Diana video in the past, it was Nash's Tooth into Rabadon's. Things can change. That is exactly why I am looking this all up here. You see also win rates. You can now also analyze why, okay, why did Diana get weaker? Was there some certain nerfs or buffs? And I mean, you see, we're talking now since 2 minutes, and I already have all the data in front of me, and now I can already play Diana with the confirmation that I will be fine with whatever I take, right? So I used to take Nash's Tooth into Rabadon secondary. We see the win rates here. Completely fine, still optional. I'm not surprised. But we can also clearly see that Liandry's does have, on a very high sample size, we have 15,000 games on Nash's, 11,000 games on Liandry's, like noticeable difference in the win rate. Like, this is noticeable, okay? So we can already tell that Liandry's is most likely better than Nash's Tooth at the moment, okay? Now we can see what secondary item is gonna be the best. Here you see Rabadon says 59% win rate. Regardless, most people buy Rabadons when they're in a snowball position. You see same with Magi's, that's why it's so high, right? For sure good, but if the secondary item is so close in win rate with Rabadons, it's a very big indicator that that is the best to take. So it's either gonna be Riftmaker or Shadow Flame as secondary item, okay? And then you can clearly see as well that Rabadons is getting really high once again. And we can tell that it's either going to be Zhonya's or Rabadon's. And then again, if we scroll down, it's most likely going to be again Zhonya's or Rabadon's. So now you already have the build path. You see situationally, Benji situationally, and that's it. That you can do this with every champion. Boom, I'm done. Now I can play Diana for 20 games and climb. Next thing we're going to do is I talk about the runes. Then I'm going to the game. Maybe explain some very big basics. And then we're going to play a game as well. Me playing Diana, doing educational jungle content, absolutely fantastic. Let me know in the comments how you like these kind of guides. I think in a very short time, there's already a lot to learn. Okay, so let's continue here first. The room page. Conqueror, Triumph, Alacrity, Cut Down, or Last Stand, or Coup de Gras. Boots, Inspiration. Does make total sense, right? Conqueror, because you're in long extended fights. Triumph, Alacrity, Healing, extra attack speed, exactly what Diana needs. Diana doesn't really need mana, especially as a jungler. Cut Down, because you engage on the enemies and then you first deal damage. You have like, let's say 30 to 50% burst from enemies, usually started when they are still full HP. You don't have a poke. Therefore, Cut Down is very interesting because you engage on the enemies fully from the start, right? Okay, we can also argue that Last Stand and Coup de Gras is completely fine. I personally think Last Stand is even better on Diana. Coup de Gras probably not necessarily needed, but I think on these three it's always situational, whatever you think is best, what makes the most sense. We probably can also just check the win rates here, what makes the most sense, but this is very depending on the game and your playstyle and what you just like. I think all three are totally fine. And here, Boots and Cosmic Insight, with almost every jungler you take that. Simply because of the consistency here, like it's extremely gold efficient. Boots having low cooldown smite, having ability haste, like item haste in general, spell haste. It just makes everything quicker. You're allowed to contest invade a little bit more, and as I said, it's just the efficiency part here, right? Attack speed 80. Here, for example, they take health. And now we compare with other players. They take scaling health, scaling health, scaling health. So we can already tell, like, it depends on the game. So if you get invaded a lot, maybe normal health is better. I would always take scaling health. So already have a comparison here with me and also the others, right? Okay, so that's all you should know. Okay, in the game, I mean, just real quick here for you. There's not something specific you should know. Like, my recommendation is just be patient, because Diana cannot disengage that well. And now, one of the biggest fundamentals in the entire game, especially in the jungle, but this applies for all lanes, is the champion-specific weakness and strength. Learn that, please. And, like, again, use your brain because you are smart enough. It's very easy. I will show, okay? So it doesn't matter which champion you take, you're just taking a notebook or an editor and you write down what you think are the strengths and the weaknesses. I got this very quickly done for you intentionally, so we just see a few things, okay? For example, Diana, let's start with the weaknesses here, okay? Diana is after her burst, she's slow in fights. So whenever you engage on the enemies, means, let's say, remove my cooldown here, you're level 3, okay? Level 4 here, I engage, and now I engaged everything. You see, everything is on cooldown. So now I can only do auto attacks, right? So I'm very slow in fights. It's also already very interesting to know on how you play Diana, right? She's weak in stat checking. So when enemies have a scanner, how can you ever just stat check him, a Wukong or something? Usually you're weak at that too, right? She has a bad disengage. Whenever she's inside, like, let's say she doesn't have flash, right? How can you escape? Let's say you're in an enemy jungle, invaded, right? And you have no flash. And now the mid laner comes from here, top laner comes from there. You are just straight up dead. Whilst when you're a K and a Skarner, you can go through walls. When you're a Kha'Zix, you can jump. A Jax can E and jump, right? Diana doesn't have that, so that's a big weakness. And your job, this is a general tip I can give you on your way, is that you, in order to make a champion broken, that's why I say in every jungle tier list, you can make this champion S+2, even though the champion is Z tier. No problem. Why? Because you become the GOAT on a certain champion by doing this actively. Think, actively, understand, accept it, and play around it. Means, why do people, when I play my Master Yi, my Viego, my Belveth, my three beloved iconic champions, sometimes the enemies say in all chat, this is so disgustingly broken, right? Why? Because we take Master Yi as an example. All the weaknesses that Master Yi has, I know extremely well to perfection. I removed it all, means that enemies will never find me. We take Diana here again as an example. They never find me in a situation where I'm invading and they can kill me because I invade, right? They don't find me doing that because I know it's a weakness, let's say with Diana. So I'm not falling for that trap. I know my weaknesses and I know my strengths. And people say my champion is broken because people say my champion is broken because the strengths I'm using to the absolute fullest. Weaknesses are not existing, so enemies only see your strengths. And what do people think if they only see strengths and no weakness? It's broken. Okay, that's all you need to know. So not only for Diana, for every champion, find your strengths and weaknesses. You can make a list with 1,000,000 points, with 10 points, with 100 points, but make a list for the champion you play and learn it, experience it, and become the GOAT. So we are 2 GOATs, because in this beautiful world, there can live more than just 1 GOAT. Okay, take care. And now we go into the game and I'm going to show you how to play Diana. Let's go. So, we're now inside of the beautiful game. We always take the blue jungle pet. It is, on Diana especially, way better than the red one and the green one. And I don't want you to fuck it up, okay? You're going to do what is smart, efficient, and conquering style. Okay, so you want to have movement speed. Especially on Diana for the fast clears. Like you will notice that in the mid-late game. Okay. So in this game, I'm just gonna ward here. I don't think I'm gonna get late invaded. I'm a little bit scared from Talia and the Pantheon both with Ignite, but I don't think I get late invaded. Gwen in general, you do want to invade as often as you can, because her early game is pretty weak. That's one of her weaknesses and for sure punishable. The problem I'm facing right now though, is that Taric, Talia and Pantheon can extremely easily cover the invades. Plus, as we know, it's one of the biggest weaknesses Diana has to face, that she can't disengage properly in fights. Like the moment I'm inside the jungle and Talia comes from behind, let's say, I'm straight up just dead. So I have to respect it, and I cannot invade the Gwen early on. Talia warded my chickens. It doesn't matter. We still want to start chickens. We want to have the chickens respawn timer at the best in the first reset before we want to get the chickens and the crux cleared twice. I'm gonna pull, this is important, the chickens into the bush so they don't see that the chickens die. Therefore, they don't have the chickens respawn timer, okay? Now only attack the big one. We don't care about the small one. Use your passive perfectly. Look on this one here. This one is important. Perfectly use my passive. I consistently have attack speed. I have attack speed for 5 seconds after using an ability. So use your Q, then wait a bit. You see? Q, you wait a bit. And when this is going out, and then you use your W. Extremely basic, okay? And you will be very quick and efficient with Diana. How do you decide from which camp you start? You want, if you can, to consistently start on red side, because chickens and crux are more XP and more gold than wolves and grump. Regardless, in some games, you simply don't want your wolves to respawn at first, because you might be scared that enemy jungler invades your wolves on that timer. I don't believe that Gwen is gonna invade my chickens on spawn, especially because this is below master tier elo, so I don't have too much respect for that, right? And they usually don't track the jungle perfectly. If you're scared, you can just start red buff into crux into chickens, completely fine. And if you need to path to a certain lane, let's say to top lane, then you can also just start blue buff, but you don't need to path to a Garen, right? Like, what is that gonna do? Garen doesn't have any setup. We don't care about that. A Garen, we just want to basically use to like him to use all his abilities and ults if he can. Like, let's say used everything is on cooldown, and then you can ignore his lane. You want to basically make him use Ignite, Flash, and ult once he's level 6, so use his entire combo. And then you ignore him again. Now he doesn't have any of this, so I ignore him right now, right? Yeah, I'm gonna consider a mid lane gank because I want to path to my chickens on respawn. 14 seconds. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up. Q. I missed my Q because I'm a piggy. I don't think I can win this. But very interesting to analyze this psychology-wise. If this Gwen was artificial intelligence, right? She would just straight up fight me. Because she doesn't respect my confidence. But we are playing against humans, right? And you see how I walked actively upwards, which told her, let's say I'm a lion in the nature, right? I told the Gwen, fuck off, right? So she already fucks off and goes away because she respects me. If I was walking away, she would actually chase me Because she's like, this is a weakling, I'm gonna kill it, right? It's not the case. I showed dominance, and she's like, I gotta back off, even though I had full cooldowns, and she would have just easily beaten me up. Like, I would have survived it. Like, I was confident in this position. My reset is not optimal because I have 360 gold wasted, and I don't want to buy a controller and drop first item, right? Like, I would survive it, but she could for sure stat check me and maybe contest my chickens then. Okay, so for the start, it's going fantastic. We have all our camps on respawn. We are extremely efficient. We are not behind in XP. Doing everything like we should. Our Grum spawns in 10 seconds. We got our chickens and Crux respawn timer. We consider our bot lane play. Our Grump is not spawned yet. Do we kill this Taric? Most likely not, but we're gonna walk up on him. Wait until he uses his E to use my E to dodge his E. You see, I already think in advance how... Okay, the idea was there, okay? But I already think in advance. Another tip, not only for Diana, general jungle, general League of Legends tip. Every time you fight anyone, you always need to have in mind, okay, how am I gonna fight it? Okay? For example, the Taric. I don't care what this Taric does. If he flashes, if he walks, if he attacks me, I couldn't care less, right? But when he presses E, that's when I react. So my focus is on one ability alone, the core ability we call it. So that's why I'm able to consistently react very, very fast on ability. Even if you are 40 years old, 50 years old, your reaction time, you're like, yeah, but I'm old, my reaction time is not that fast. Stop talking shit. You're young. You're extremely young and handsome. Ah! Okay, I should focus. Oh my god, I shouldn't talk. Okay, you're not young. No, man! Okay, sorry. That was... The reason why this is all fine and all, but I didn't have top lane priority and mid lane priority, and I didn't respect it, and I just walked up because I'm a piggy. Okay, that's the only mistake. Gwen is already, for some reason, 54 CS. She is extremely fast. I did something wrong here. Actually, I did everything correctly, but I think it was just a mistake to contest the Grubbies. That's the only mistake. I didn't respect her being level 6. I also didn't respect Talia level 6 because I'm not level 6. Okay, but my point is... I'm gonna go wrap up and then maybe top lane gang so I can get Garen stuff out here. Spicy, spicy. Gwen does a fantastic job this game. Fantastic job. Okay, so my point is, usually you're not able to react to abilities because you think about it once they happen. But I think in advance. For example, Pantheon used his W, so he has no W, so I can just straight up walk at him, right? And now I just straight up kite and attack him. Now Garen used his stuff, so we can officially ignore him now because it's 170, 103. 100 seconds cooldown. After that disappears, there's another win condition / power spike topside we can utilize. Right now this Garen, I could not care what he does. He can stay AFK in a bush. Oh, I mistaked that. I don't care. But we did our job. We also can't gank mid lane because we don't have ult, we don't have flash, we have 1,100 gold. We're not in the perfect position right now to go for. I think the reason Gwen was level 6, by the way, is because she got some lane XP I didn't take a look at. And now I'm not able to fight her. Also, this is a really hard game for me because I losing mid lane, losing top lane, losing bot lane, 0 lanes with prio, everyone is garbage, everyone is inting, we're not able to contest anything, we have 0 vision, like that's all, it's all a fact. Right? But that doesn't matter. I'm focused on myself. I see how I can win, and I will find a way how I can win. For example, in mid lane here, maybe I should be mid lane taking the way, like taking the blue buff is better here. But I'm just thinking about options to improve my gameplay in order to climb higher. Yeah. Dawn is still pretty late. I'm gonna take this and see if I can take top scuttle. Completely fine. We're gonna reset with 1.3k gold. Taric is missing. I also need to respect. I'm just gonna take this and immediately reset. Pantheon could ult on me, so I need to walk out very quickly. Okay, I'm gonna reset. Bot scuttle spawns. I think the next gonna be Crux into chickens. Okay, now we go Riftmaker. So that's the highest build, win rate build for Diana. And I'm very curious to test it. I built it before, and the game right up before that, I was 13-0 with 14 CS per minute. So fantastic Diana game. And now this is actually really good that my team is inting, because I have a lot of videos and games played on stream and everything where I do have just always winning team, right? And that's also because of my gameplay that I become. Like, I get teammates that are winning just because I built around that. Now every lane is just straight up griefing, right? Everyone is down. Yes, maybe Garen is interesting, which I can try to play for. Mid lane is not really killable. Talia does a really great job too, right? We have numbers advantage. Top side, I can try to use that. Oh, insane ult from Gwen. Insane reaction from Gwen. I can straight up just win that. I can stat check her because I have a full item and she doesn't. I used my power spike. She did one mistake that she didn't reset for the perfect item here. And I also, like, Gwen is really decent scaling, but I do think that Diana is, in a lot of situations, straight up better than Gwen. Okay. We got the grubbies here, so we got 3 grubbies. I also will get the boots. I'm gonna go with Elise, so we stay with numbers. Very good gang from Elise. Okay, I'm just gonna go take the bot and wave, I think. Bot and scuttle next. I think the ward will track me if I go to enemy chickens and Tarek is missing, so I have to respect. I think I can just straight up walk at him. I have Conqueror too. The fight never ends. Still have my flash to disengage. Very good skirmish. The reason I want to go for this skirmish is because I do have ult. Wow. And now look what I do. I push the mid-end wave, and now think for yourself, why do I push the mid-end wave, guys? Why do I cancel my reset for that? Gwen is dead to pick up the wave. Okay, I just react to that. Very good roam from Neela to go mid lane. Very smart from her. But the point is that we lose the wave always. You see, the wave crashes and Yone doesn't get it. So we lose the wave anyways, right? And the enemies also lose the wave anyways. That's why Nyla picked it up. The same reason why I picked it up, okay? I mean, keep in mind, this is Diamond Elo, so this is top 1% of the best players in the world, so Nyla knows what she's doing. If she didn't pick it up, the wave would have crashed on the tower and they would have lost it while we get it. So both team loses anyways, but it's my decision to pick it up. And now I got a pretty decent lead, just because I picked up the wave, which also leads to me having very high CS counts, right? And now I'm gonna go wrap buff, and then you have the following option: either top lane gank if Garen has setup. He just died, so most likely I'm gonna ignore him again. And then I just have both side full clear and then see if I can contest dragon and so on, you know? Yeah? I could take top lane CS, but it's very far from where I want to be. Because I walk top side, dragon is immediately gone. I want to contest the dragon, so I'm gonna stay here right now. This is a very bad timer for the Garen to die. Okay, Gwen goes over the wall, and I think she wants to do the dragon immediately, but it was pretty bad for Elise to track the Gwen because it just scared her. Psychology-wise, you know. Maybe if I find a catch on the Talia, it leads to us having... Okay, that doesn't work. Was a nice try, right? Oh, shit. That also doesn't work, Sinerias. That's not how the interactions work, my friend. But this is exactly the interactions you learn with expertise, right? Nyla could also be here, so I have to respect. The enemies have numbers advantage. Now it's even numbers. You see Smolder's also there. I'm starting the dragon because we only see 3 enemies. We have even numbers, but slight numbers advantage. Keep in mind, guys, you win the game extremely easy with numbers advantage. You underestimate how important it is. Trust me. I've had so many times where I'm like, oh fuck, I lost this, I should have won that. The only reason you lost is because you're here. I can. I always win that because I have the first strike on the Gwen, right?
Shut down.
Why do you think Nyla died? Shut down, even though she was 5-2 and a very good player, top 1%. Why? Why did she die? You can say, yeah, because she got cheesed, she got engaged. The main reason is because she got outnumbered. That's why I want to gank top lane now. That's why ganks are so effective. I'm pinging, good communication. I'm straight up walking. If he has a ward, it is what it is. Immediately combo. I don't have ult. I thought I have ult actually. My bad. I actually thought I have ult for that. 2 seconds. Maybe I can recombo him. It was close. He respects it. He respects it. Yeah. I should have here checked if I have ult. And if I have ult up, then I go for that. You see, like, that's the exact reason why I want to gank when we have our spikes. Because imagine I had ult on that play. But we can actually get the dragon. So we need the next herald and we get the feats of strength. I mean, like, imagine I had ult, how extremely easy the Pantheon would have died. So you see how much of a difference it makes if you do have the power spike or not. Goal would be to do herald into then reset. And then I have my full item and we got the boots. That would be the best. So our goal should be to find a catch. This is really suboptimal. Yeah, macro-wise, terribly done. And mechanically, really unfortunate synergy. Because the moment I pressed Q, my own teammate took the plant. Plus, Elise did not engage on the Pantheon from the start. That all of these could have been very easy for us. If we were not the one getting catched, if we tried to go for the catch, the entire outcome changes immediately. And that's how, again, enemies have numbers advantage. Now it's unplayable because of that. It repeats itself. The cycle repeats itself for both teams. Why not Nashus on Diana? Nashus is completely fine on Diana, but win rate rise, Liandry's and Riftmaker is way higher. We see a huge difference in that. Okay, so spicy game. I'm still in control. I have to stay focused. Win condition is probably gonna be Yone. He's doing very fine. Smolder will still scale, and I can also try to play with Elise catches. Alright. I'm gonna try to group up, find catches. We need to find catches before they do. That's the way we win. Like, this catch here, we need to find before they find it. Take the plant, so she can't take it. Now we're outnumbering them, so it's extremely easy to win. No matter how we play, we win automatically because we have just one target more. Pantheon Cups, we are still outnumbering them, so it's extremely easy to fight. But my team is not going together. My team is not grew up. Now the enemies grew up. There was a big mistake that we did not stay together, which would be really free. Now we are fucked and can't play the game. Just because of that. Just because if Yone was not going for bot lane scuttle for some reason, and Smolder would immediately see that Pantheon ulted, so we all grouped together, Pantheon would immediately die, not have a disengage option, same with the Gwen here, and we win. They sold me like I'm nothing. Like I'm the complete dust in the waste, right? Okay, so that's what my team does. And you're like, yeah, but my team does the same. Yeah, that's cool and all. But it never matters on what your team reacts to. Because you can only communicate and hope that your team reacts, right? If they don't react, sometimes you're just gonna get punished. But you can control how you react to it. So you see my voice, it didn't change. I'm peaceful, thoughtful, thinking, okay, maybe I could have done better. Maybe I should have not tried to fight the Pantheon. Maybe I could have predicted that my team will ignore me and just throw me away like I'm a dummy, right? Like I'm just waste in the desert. Maybe I could have predicted that they see me as a disgusting piggy, right? Maybe. Yeah, and that's, you see, the entire rhythm changes. Like my team ends, I don't care. I'm just focused on myself. Okay, how can I conquer? How can I become the GOAT? Yeah, this looks like we can find a catch here. I was pretty confident that there was nobody nearby. Okay, Nyla deals way too much damage. She also crit me twice. Yeah, I could have played that a tiny bit better mechanically, but it's kind of unplayable against this. Yeah, was very too aggressive for me to engage. I think the engage was fine. I should have just went out after I killed Talia. That would have been smartest. Okay, group, play together. We win in numbers. We are actually stronger, but we need to group. The Gwen and the enemies do it really well. If, and that's a big if my team runs it down, and fully runs, never groups, just fully trolls, and you're like, yeah, but then I can't win. Yeah, that's true. You're gonna lose. I will also lose it then, yeah, I agree. But you should focus on your mistakes than in the past. Because in this game, for example, the game before I played really, really well, right? In this game I also played pretty decently. I was focused on my talking, but I played decently. Wrong! I played decently, it's okay, but that's a useless thing to say. Because I didn't play to perfection. I could have played better. Is the answer yes? Yeah, then focus on that. Yeah, like you then play it better, right? I deserve the loss. I deserve to get completely destroyed this game if I don't play it well. And I could have done maybe like 3 to 5 things better this game. So I deserve the loss. If you do one thing wrong, you deserve the loss. Because that all snowballs. League of Legends is a game of snowball. Let's see if I still find a way to win this game though, even though I am a sinner that did already an insane amount of mistakes, right? I did already fuck it up in multiple different ways. I still played it fine, maybe even way better than my team. That doesn't matter though, because I could have done way more. Now I'm gonna ping. You see, last time I didn't ping when Pantheon ulted. We are outnumbering them, so we win that, easy. I can't win this. Garen also uses, like, the Pantheon is really fat. I'm gonna try to run, but I'm pretty slow. Oy, that's scary. Does this guy want to kill me or what? Garen also pushes side and we have nobody to defend. Your own defenses, I think that will be... My god, this guy really chases me down. I can't. I have to stat check him. Yeah, there's nothing I can do because he played his combo correctly. He W into Q, so the chance his abilities hits me is precisely 100%. There's no way that then just straight up that, which also kind of perfectly describes Diana's weakness. Like, I can't disengage. I just can't get out. Like, there was nothing I could have done to avoid my death. He takes the plants, he walks up at me, presses W, I'm dead. Chance I survive, precisely 0. If I was Faker or playing this like an artificial intelligence, chance I survive, precisely 0. Right? Very interesting thought. Okay, like I think maybe there's a little bit I can do, but in most situations the chances are very... The odds are very precise. Okay. Okay, let's go. So, how can I win this game now? We got this. Enemies also outscale us. Unless Smolder scaling is fine. Our early late game is stronger than theirs, I think. I still have Zhonya's. Terry is fantastic. Enemies just are straight up outnumbering. I think I shouldn't even have tried to contest that. Terry is just way too strong against Diana. Terry Nyla combo is just way too good. And now we're gonna make sure we're winning this game. There was a lot we explained this game. A lot of things we all could have improved on. And now we actively try our absolute best to still win, regardless of all the mistakes we pulled off. Nyla's really fat and it's really hard for us to play into this. I also have to say that the enemy team comp is fabulous against Diana. Their champions are perfect against Diana. Because Pantheon Talia is beautiful against Diana. I think Gwen counter jungled everything here before she died. And my Grump is up really nice. After Zhonya's, I'm gonna go Rabadon's. Need to get my level 16. Stay grouped. We are strong. Let's go together. Find a catch. We need a catch. The reason why I say this is because we cannot straight up fight them anymore. It's legitimately impossible to fight. So I could go Abyssal Mask here as well. It's pretty good so they have lower MR and Elise and me deal a lot of damage, right? Like we legit have absolutely 0 chance to do any fights. Because enemies are just straight up stat checking us. So the way we win is to find a catch like the Taric here. Let's say we were earlier, right? We could already combo him. He's dead. Where they focus on Dragon. Find a catch. Come team. I need to say it as much as I can. Yeah, I wanted to get it. We need to find a numbers disadvantage for the enemies, like this. Perfect. Nice. And now we should push and immediately keep fighting. Go, 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 go. Fight, 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 fight. Nice. Then we go Baron is also okay, and then we turn onto them. Now we are outnumbering them. Now it's a 5v4. Now we can straight up win any fight. This is good. This is really good. I'm gonna engage on them. Because I have Zhonya's. I'm just gonna try to force a fight. That's my goal here. Because I'm very sure we're just gonna straight up win it. You see, it's very close. I could have probably played this a little bit more slow. But I think you understand my point. You see how close these fights are. Okay, I mean... I think we just played it mechanically worse than them. But... a slight... You see how far the enemies are? The enemies are 35 into 24. This game should be lost. But this was a very solid ass chance to get back into the game. That was solid ass. A tiny bit better. A tiny bit of a better follow-up from Elise too. And I think we win the game on the spot. Because after we kill them, we get Baron and we outscale them. Yeah, that's legit how you should play the game. So a lot to learn here as well. Okay. So my champion is pretty strong in the late game, especially after the next item. And now the enemy is outnumbering again, and it's absolutely unplayable. So I can't control my team besides my good communication. That's what I should have done, is just better communicate, right? Still winnable, still winnable. We got this. Enemies outnumbering us, so we shouldn't fight. Maybe we find a catch on Talia if we outnumber her for a very short period of time. Crazy that I don't deal enough damage to kill her. Actually really surprising how little damage I deal. Because I just need the long extended fights, right? And I can't have it here in the late game. And now we just basically got scared. So there was a lot of things I could have done better this game. And now comes the reflection. Forget about our team. That's already the past, right? Let's say the game was over now. We forget about the team. So what can I do better? I could have maybe talked less and focused more on the game. I could have played the fights mechanically better. So how should I have played it? I could have maybe done a few macro decisions better. You remember the interactions which I fucked up here? I can learn them more. So I already improved in multiple different ways on this game alone. So next game will be 10 times better. Absolutely fantastic. And the last game I was completely full 1v9. I think if I play 10 Diana games on Diamond Elo now, I would probably win like 9 out of them. If I fully focus, I should win 10 out of them. 10 out of 10, right? So in the one game I lose, let's say this game, okay, well, then I have my analyzing. And then my Diana gets better. And then I can play Diana not only in Challenger Elo, but maybe at High Challenger Elo. That's the way you should see it, guys. That's exactly the way you should see it. And if your performance is really good and consistently, then you will climb anyways, always. There's a chance you can... There's no wards here. We need to find a catch. This is terrible. I can never go in here. Enemies are playing this really well grouped up together. I think we give bot an inhibitor 100%. We need to fight him because we're outnumbering him. Can still Zhonya's the combo. Yeah. Enemies are ending. Really nice game. I loved it. Next time I maybe try to focus a tiny bit more. Then we would have been in a snowball position. And then we would have not lost the game, but extremely easy won the game. Because it's all a snowball in the end.